So, as we get into the history again, in 1831, Frederick Mayhew sells his land on Martha's Vineyard to George Stewart. And about that time, he heads west to settle with several members of the Tilton family in Ohio. And as a history geek, I love this part. The federal census for 1830 features a listing of one Frederick Mayhew and a female living in Chilmark, Martha's Vineyard, and a second Frederick Mayhew and two females living in Concord Township, Miami County, Ohio, located on the Miami-Erie Canal. Both Frederick Mayhews are listed between 40 and 50 years old, the appropriate age of the artist. The federal census of 1830 was conducted over a 9-month period, and it's possible that Frederick Mayhew was counted twice, once in Massachusetts, once in Ohio.
Recollection.
Yeah. By the 1840 census, there's no Frederick Mayhew in Massachusetts, and there's only one living in Ohio. So I don't think there was ever was two Frederick Mayhews. I think it was just the same guy counted twice. And this kind of is an interesting note and shows perhaps part of his travels. This is Norton Bassett of Lowville, New York, which is along the Erie Canal. Not far, it's a little bit north, but it's basically along the Erie Canal. Norton's father, Nathan, lived in Chilmark and then moved to New York State. And this is inscribed on the back, painted by F. Mayhew, 1832. It's a little watercolor, one of his miniature portraits. And if you go to the next, this is the back. Norton Bassett, N. Bassett, age 23. Another Bassett inscription there. And then very lightly down on the bottom, there is the inscription painted by F. Mayhew, 1832. And with modern technology, here's a computer enhancement painted by F. Mayhew, 1832. So this shows that progress of Frederick Mayhew on his way to Ohio. Next slide. And we think this is probably one of his early portraits. By 1833, he was living in Ohio, almost for sure, and this is painted oil on panel on a tulip poplar board, which is really unusual, and it's kind of weird size too. Much smaller than an oil on canvas, but bigger than a watercolor on paper. Both paper and canvas would have been difficult products to get on the frontier of Ohio, but definitely shows his same style and a little bit of a flashback to the roundness of the earlier style. Next, and the inscription painted by Frederick Mayhew, 1833, enhanced. That's how it was, painted by Frederick Mayhew, 1833.
Most of the artists, the framing was on their own, except the Hamlin and Pryor School. I mean, they were really, they supplied the whole thing, and we know what a Pryor frame looks like. So it's very common that people like that who are doing so much portraiture that they would bring their supplies with them and make a little money on the frame as well. And they, give you a package deal. Sort of like when your kids have photographs done in elementary school. Well, here we can give them frames, or you can take the cheap package.
And then just a image of the census from 1840. Here's Frederick Mayhew, and down here one of his kind of near neighbors is William Tilton. You also have a couple members of the Davis family, which come into play later on. And then the 1850 census is a little more spelled out, a little more information. Matthew Tilton up here with his wife and son. And Matthew was born in Massachusetts, but his wife was born in Ohio. That's the information on the far right. Matthew was a farmer. His estate was valued at $700. And then you have Frederick Mayhew, age 65, farmer. His estate was valued at $3,000. So, and that, if you go through the rest of the people in the area, the average price for a farmer's real estate value is about $1,000, a little below. So clearly it looks like Frederick Mayhew is making extra money as an artist and probably still working as a painter, although he's listed as a farmer. Down in a separate household, identified by these numbers, his next door neighbor is his daughter, Lucinda Davis, who was the head of the household. So her husband had passed by 1850, but they had she had a son, Frederick, named after her father, then Enid, Levi, a couple other names there, Ezra, and then William B., and another Abigail Davis. So she had a full household, and some of her family was born in Massachusetts, one in New York, and one in Ohio. So that shows that progress from Massachusetts again through New York to Ohio. Living with Frederick Mayhew and his wife Zelinda is Mary Bassett. So it shows some connection to that Norton Bassett, Nathan Bassett family in New York State. But at that point in 1850, Mary Bassett was living with Frederick and Zelinda. In A History of Noble County, Ohio, published in 1887, we get a little bit more of that history and connection. Abner J. Davis was born in South Olive, Ohio in 1838. His father, a native of Maine, was a soldier in the War of 1812. He married Lucinda Mayhew, a native of Martha's Vineyard, whose father, Frederick Mayhew, was a landscape painter and a sailor. So that's kind of two little bit of twist on the information that we know about Frederick Mayhew. There's no known landscape paintings by Frederick. And to me it's interesting that when he kind of had the chance to do a landscape painting with the sea captains and the ships in the background, he chose just to do a little ship. So maybe he transitioned into landscape painting later on, which became much more popular, as Arthur was saying, with the advent of photography and the daguerreotype. Portrait painting fell out of fashion. You could get your portrait done by a photograph much cheaper, much more quickly. So maybe he transitioned into landscape painting later on and became known in Ohio as a landscape painter. So this is the final resting place. We have Frederick Mayhew, who died in 1854, and Zelinda Tilton Mayhew died in 1867, and they were buried together in Tiltonville Cemetery in Caldwell, Ohio. So it was really interesting, great combination of family, and really that American story of the migration and the transition westward into the great wilderness of Ohio.